What's going on, gang? Welcome back to another episode of High Rollers, Roads, and Rails. And today in this episode, if it's not already a dead giveaway by the shirt and the picture in the background, we're talking about the finest steam locomotive ever built, the Norfolk and Western Class J. So here we are up on the layout to talk about what is undoubtedly one of the greatest steam locomotives of all time, the Norfolk and Western Class J. The model that we're looking at here is from Lionel, and it is the Norfolk and Western Class J number 606. The 606 is a Lionel TMCC command control engine from the Volume 1 catalog from 2002. And I must say that this engine absolutely shows fantastic for being over 20 years old. But first, as I like to try to do in all of my model training videos, let's talk about the specs of the real Norfolk and Western Class J's. So the Norfolk and Western Class J was a 484 Northern type wheel configuration. They were 109 feet long and a total weight, including the tender, of 872,600 pounds. They were coal-fired steam engines and featured a maximum boiler pressure of 300 psi. With that boiler pressure, it could put out a power output of 5,100 horsepower with a tractive effort of 80,000 pounds and reach maximum speeds of up to 110 miles an hour. The Class J's 70-inch drivers and Baker valve gear are what really allowed it to have the incredible speeds that they would reach. These engines were a sleek, streamlined design, which allowed for less drag and greater speeds. These engines truly were built to be speed demons along the old N&W mainline. These locomotives were built and designed by the Norfolk and Western Railway and built in the Roanoke shops in Roanoke, Virginia. There were 14 locomotives in the class, numbers 600 through 613, with the first being built in 1941. The Class J was responsible for pulling N&W's premier passenger service trains, including the Powhatan Arrow and the Cavalier. These trains ran from Norfolk, Virginia to Cincinnati, Ohio, across the N&W mainline. These incredible engines continued to pull revenue passenger trains for the Norfolk and Western Railway all the way until 1959, where eventually new President Stuart T. Saunders decided to dieselize the railroad finally, putting an end to steam on the Norfolk and Western. Only one of the Class J's survived the scrapper's torch. That was number 611. Number 611 was put into preservation with many thanks to longtime rail fan Graham Claytor Jr. The Claytor family was instrumental in the saving of number 611 and many other Southern Railway steam locomotives. The 611 would go on to have a very extensive excursion career that is led on even into present day. As a matter of fact, to this day, you can still go ride behind a passenger excursion behind the Norfolk and Western 611. And since we're doing all this talk of the 611, I really just got to tell you guys that the 611 is just such a special part of me, a special part of me being a fan of trains. It's been around for as long as I can remember. Growing up just down the road from Roanoke, just a couple hours away, I have pictures and videos of me as a young child sitting on the front of 611, only dreaming one day that I would get to see it back in the steam, as at the time she had been put into preservation on static display after the Norfolk and Southern steam programs had ended. Fortunately, in 2016, they fired her back up with the Fire Up 611 campaign, and in 2017, I was finally able to realize my childhood dream of riding on an excursion behind 611. It was truly an unbelievable experience that I'll never forget. And it doesn't stop there. So, as in more recent years, as recent as last year, the 611 came back into excursion service on the Buckingham Branch Railroad in Goshen, Virginia and Staunton, Virginia. And when that came out, they finally did a cab tour or be the engineer experience, and was able to do that, and just truly an incredible experience that I'll never forget is being behind the controls of 611, sit in that seat that so many great engineers of years past had done. Unbelievable experience, something I'll never forget. But as you can see, even my family now, that's me, my wife, and my daughter, when we rode behind the excursion in Goshen last year as well. And just such a special engine to me and my family. And I love those engines. And I'm really excited to bring this review to you guys today. And unfortunately, as far as 2024 goes, I've heard that they won't be running any excursions this year. She's down for some maintenance, and the VMT's got a bunch of internal issues going on that I'm not going to get too much into in this video, but if you want, you can look that up on your own time. But with any reason, she's still in preservation. She's still in good hands with the VMT. And hopefully in 2025, we'll be able to bring you guys some trips, and we're going to do it right here on the channel. So I'm definitely going to take y'all with me. So we will see 611 steam on this channel. So back up here on the layout, I know what you guys are thinking. Dylan, this is the 606, not the 611. Why is all the 611 talk? Well, to be honest, I love the 611. And, well, to be honest, I don't have a 611. That needs to change. Hopefully it will. With the new release from MTH, I do have one of those on pre-order. So I will have a MTH Proto 3 Class J. But for right now, this is what I have. This is, like I said, this is a TMCC Lionel number 606. The 606 was basically identical to the 611 other than the cab number. So basically the same engine that we're looking at here. So let's take a quick look at some of the specs and features of this Lionel TMCC Class J. So here's a quick rundown on this Lionel model. Again, it was featured in the 2002 Volume 1 catalog. It features Trainmaster command control, rail sounds with crew talk, the Odyssey speed control, high torque Pitman motor, electric couplers, operating headlight, wireless tether between the locomotive and tender, the fan-driven smoke unit, traction tires, die-cast metal boiler, trucks, tender, pilots, and metal handrails, glass windows with the cab and fireman engineers figures in it, and requires a minimum radius of 0.54. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the finer details of this model. With the Class J being a streamlined locomotive, you're not going to see a ton of detail on the front here. But it does have very nice separately applied handrail on the front, lighted number boards, nice headlight up front. You do have some nice detail on the top of the boiler here. This does feature the swing out pilot with the dummy O-scale coupler on the front. It does come with a O-scale coupler if you do want to double head this engine. Coming around on the side, you can see the legible Class J builder's plate, Roanoke Shops, and also the class plate right here on the pistons. See some nice detail in front of that. Coming down the side rods, take a look at these drive wheels. A lot of molded in detail on this model, but that's to be expected for its age. You see the crisp Tuscan stripe with the gold outline. One thing I will say about this one is that Lionel got the colors fairly right on this engine. Much more right than their most recent release in 2019 of the 611 on the legacy models, that was a big complaint from a lot of folks, was the stripe color was 100% wrong. It was this like really bright red color, as you can see. You know, I've got some lighting on here, so it's kind of throwing the color off a little bit, but they got the Tuscan stripe looking very nice. You see the crisp 606 cab number on the side here. Moving on down the side. Like I said, this is a 2002 model, so you can't expect a ton of detail on it, but it is a nice looking engine nonetheless. So you got the separately applied rail across the top here. Coming back to the cab, you see those hand painted figures. That window there does slide. And we're coming on back to the tender. Again, not a ton of detail, but this is a streamlined engine, so it is hard to get a ton of detail on a streamlined engine. So here we are, bird's eye view above the engine. You can see smokestack. So you got your marker lights on the front here. Come across the top, you see a nice bell, your pop valves, and that famous 3-chime Hancock whistle. Some more molded in detail here. You know, these cab vents don't open like some of the other models. Even my JLC Y6B has the opening vent, so kind of surprised that this one doesn't, but it doesn't. You see the be careful markings on the tender here. You know, pretty corny looking coal load, not gonna lie. Not the best looking, but you know, again, these engines are, you know, well over 20 years old. So coming across the back of the tender, you can see there's some nice riveted, molded in detail here. Wow, that one doesn't open actually, I'm surprised. So yeah, the water hatch on the tender does not open. So we do have some nice detail on the back of the tender here. You see you got your reverse light, you got a separately applied ladder, a couple separately applied handrails here at the top, and then you've got some really nice lettering. The stoker slides must be removed if tender. Careful of exposed screws, and some numbers here. So there is a little bit of detail on this older engine here. So I've gone ahead and thrown some power to the track now, just to show you the lighting aspects of this engine. You can see the headlight on, again the lighted number boards, your lighted green marker lights here, and coming back, it's hard to see, but you also have a lit cab. So before we fire this engine up and listen to the sounds, I want to go over some quick upgrades that I've made to this model. So originally this engine had 2 chuffs per revolution, and to be honest, it had some pretty anemic smoke, as most early TMCC models did. So I reached out to a friend of mine, Jacob Headley, with Model Works Depot, and he got me squared away on a JW&A Enterprises Super-Chuffer and Chuff-Generator boards in this engine. Now these boards really take these engines up to the next level. So what does that do? Well, it gives me the 4 chuffs per revolution sound that I wanted, and you'll hear that as we get this engine moving. Also, it gave it some great smoke features. So now, instead of just having a constant stream of smoke like these engines come with from the factory, it will actually chuff, as you can see. These boards also allow the cab light to go off as the engine gets rolling, as you see in many modern legacy models. So really bringing in some great modern day features to this older engine. So again, I want to thank Jacob for hooking this engine up and really getting it to where it sounds the way I wanted it to sound. So if you guys are in Virginia and looking to get some upgrades done to your Lionel or MTH engines, make sure you hit up Jacob, and his contact info is right here. So take a good look at that, and like I said, make sure you hit up my friend Jacob for all your upgrades and repairs for O-scale trains. So with that, let's get the cab 2 remote out and let's get this thing fired up and let's hear it. So you can hear our sounds at idle. Let's go over some of the effects here. So we'll start with the crew talk. You can hear it blow down there. All right, let's go ahead and hear the crew talk. So, you know, as with the TMCC model, you get the old mumble crew talk. Let's hear a tower announcement.
Norfolk and Western 606, you are cleared on the main line.
All right, and let's hear that whistle. All right, and the bell. And let's hear a blow down again. And that's going to about wrap it up for the stationary features. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling so that you can hear that awesome 4 chuffs per revolution from that Super-Chuffer board. Behind the J we're going to be running this beautiful set of 70-foot streamlined Norfolk and Western passenger cars. This is a 6-car set including the Vista Dome. Alright gang, and with that, I hope you guys enjoyed my little review of my old TMCC Class J. Had a lot of fun bringing it to y'all. It's an engine that I've had for a while, that I've done some upgrades to, that I really want to get a video out on. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are enjoying the model railroad content that I'm putting out. I promise I'm going to get back on the car stuff. I know my car junkies are just itching for me to get something out. We have plans this weekend to shoot something really special. So look forward to that coming up soon. But again, I hope you guys are enjoying the model train stuff. I'm certainly enjoying filming it for y'all. So with that, I just ask that you guys like, comment, subscribe. Help me out, guys. We're growing exponentially. Every video is getting better and better. Making some upgrades here soon with some camera equipment and stuff. So y'all bear with me. Trying to make a better, more quality content for you guys to check me out for. So with that, thank you guys very much. And we'll see y'all down the line.